So this is going to be a quick live on energy reading. I want to also talk about life path numbers because it's, again, I'm always excited when I come across new data. I try to make it simple, stupid, but the deeper you go into numerology, the deeper you go. It's amazing. But I'm going to be talking about the energy, the collective energy that I'm noticing for the collective masculine and the collective feminine, because there's some things happening. I'm going to wait till more people come on so I can share that. It's a quick live. We're not going to be here for more than probably 30 minutes. And we're going to jump in as soon as I see more than 2 people. No offense. Thank you for being there. 1 person. The level of attention span is amazing. But so we're going to be looking at the collective energy on the masculine and on the feminine. Notice I didn't say divine. Did you notice that? Yeah, I don't use that word here and there. That word divine masculine, divine feminine is earned through massive healing. It's not just because you're in love with a twin flame does not make you divine of any level. Divine is either aware that you need healing and trying to figure out how to, or on the journey to healing. Does anybody ever get healed fully? No, because once you've healed that, something else comes up that needs to be healed. You've got to understand, we've had many of us, not all of us, by the way, hundreds of thousands, some of us millions of incarnations. Millions. Yes, millions. And that's easily done because many of us also do concurrent incarnations. So I'm waiting for more people to come on, and we're going to talk about I think I'm going to go with the what's going on with the masculine energy and the feminine. So let's see. I want you to vote for it. What do you want to hear first? The downloads I'm getting on the masculine energy or the feminine? I'd like a vote. Go ahead and let me know. What do you want to start on? Feminine or masculine? Feminine or masculine? And that's on the collective, okay? Who wants to go first? Who wants to tell me what? Because whoever chooses it, I'll do that first. Masculine, feminine, masculine. Okay, so 2 out of 3. All right, so let's go right into the masculine. Yes, okay. So here's what's happening in the masculine, which I've been noticing because I have clients who are masculine. And also I'm hearing from my clients who are feminine going through, reporting back, if you will. Think of them as scouts. These twin flame clients that I have, they're scouts. And they tell me what's going on. And the masculine has decided to entrench itself in a very, very deep egoic perspective. There's 2 things happening, okay? One is the masculine going through an entrenchment, like hell-bent on not understanding, 1, that the ascension is upon them. 2, that they're having dreams and not collective, but individual downloads about you. Your name is showing up. I don't care if your name is like Zia, Z-I-A. It will see a truck driving by with Zia Express Coffee. Like some crazy shit's happening. And that masculine, instead of going, holy shit, wait, hang on. Like this is 1 in a million that I would see that name of all names. What the fuck's going on, right? And then if your name is like, no offense, Pam or Pat or whatever, right? It's going to see the name all day long, all day bloody long. A movie, a this, a that. And even though they're seeing that, okay, even though they're actually seeing that, and if they have the concept, the frequency match to see angelic numbers, it'll go beyond angelic numbers and they'll see your birth date or they'll see your street address. Just like 313 Main Street, they'll see 313 all over the place. And the more they dig, like a tick on a dog's butt, to forget that this connection is like no other. The more they do that, the more the universe is hammering them. So there are 2 aspects to this. 1, you have a 3D masculine. A 3D masculine. What if it only knows my fake Bumble name? 1 or 2 things are gonna happen. They're actually going to see your real name and not know it's your real name. That's the tragedy of that one. That's what I'm getting on that download. Let's say you guys met and all you did was just, kind of mess around, but you know that this is a connection. Then that's what's going to happen, is that this person is going to see your real name and not know it. They may see your fake name, but mine told me he sees our numbers all the time. Yes, Alicia, exactly. So you will see not only your numbers, your particular number, but you will see their number, of course. And the more you get pissed off with your twin, the more the feminine will see. But let me keep on track, okay? You're so awesome, East Coast. Well, I'm not in East Coast yet, but Frankie Terry, you're awesome. And thank you for being such a loving, loyal follower. I really appreciate you. So what's happening is, so you've got one sector of the masculine that is hell-bent on not saying, yes, I see this, admitting to it, and going to the right people and going, okay, what the fuck is this? Tell me talk to me like I'm 12, because I feel like I'm going crazy, because I know this, they're all going crazy on this, okay? So the masculine is like freaking out, and like if they are addicted to anything, they're going back to their old and tried true addiction, having sex, or drinking, or doing drugs, and then you have the other one. Here's the other one. The other one is on a healing path. The other one misses the shit out of you. The other one knows, the other masculine type knows that they're not ready for you. They're not ready to be radically honest with you. That means, yes, I cheated on you, or yes, I know who you are, but I'm not the man you need me to be. That's the other one. And that other one is probably doing mushroom. I'm being straight up with you guys. I'm not messing around, okay? I'm telling you what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it on his download, and I'm seeing it from my clients. So it's not like I'm making this shit up. And the download I'm getting is, so that one is saying, I'm not ready for you. I'm fucked up. I got shit to do. I'm going to take mushrooms. I'm going to figure myself. I'm going to go to ayahuasca. I'm going to do shit. I'm just going to fucking see how my brain was washed in a place of many rhetorics and fears. And I'm going to deconstruct and reconstruct myself piece by piece. That's a hell of a man. That's a hell of a man. And you better respect that man. Because that man is going into the darkest parts of himself, in the forest of his own subconscious, and unafraid of, well, maybe a little afraid of losing himself, losing his mind, yeah? And so when I have clients who come to me, male clients who say, I feel like I'm losing my mind, I go, right on, lose your mind, because that mind you don't want. You want the new mind. You want the new consciousness. So you're doing good. And they kind of like are taken aback. It's like, what the fuck? But what I'm going to say to you, so you've got these two consciousness. And I have good news. There are a lot more unicorns. I call these men, the ones that are like, they know they got shit to heal. They know that they're not good enough for you yet. They know they can't give you the kind of deep soul healing conversation that you need, because they can't even articulate their own pain to themselves. So how the hell are they going to articulate it to you? How? And so you're going to have to be patient. Okay? Now, and so I call these guys unicorns. Why? Because they're fucking rare. They're probably 20% of the population. And hopefully you guys, some of you, mostly, I hope all of you, I bless you all with that blessing, that's your twin runner. He's the one trying to figure himself out. He's the one that will not come back to you until he has his head together in the right way. Unicorn here. I know, Frankie. Believe me, I recognize you. Renowned Kingdom here. Love you, Tony. I love you too. I have no idea which one mine is. Still no contact. You have to sit with that. You have to sit with that and recapitulate to all the things you talked about, and let the downloads come, and make sure that you have heart coherence to know when it's corrupted downloads, like your wishful thinking or anger, and when it's pure downloads, when it's coming to you and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Okay. And there's a third twin. And some of you haven't met your twin yet. I'm going to be straight up. You think it's a twin. At least one or two of you actually are not in your twin journey. You're in an ascension journey, and a high level soulmate, or just a soulmate with some karmic ties with you by the way, we all have karmic ties, all of us. Okay. We're all karmics. Let's get that on the table straight up. And so the third one, you haven't met your twin yet. It's another type of unicorn, and this unicorn knows, this masculine energy, who is divine, okay, at this point, knows they're not ready to be with the woman, but they're getting ready to be in union with the woman. They want the marriage, they want the children, they want all of it. But they know that they have to do massive work of anger, of impulsivity. Many of them are young, beautiful men. I'm thinking of one in particular, beautiful, celibate on purpose. Not because they can't get some action, believe me, they can. But because they have decided that the next person comes in is the woman, they go, will you marry me? Okay? That's the third masculine. Okay? Any questions on that? And ladies, listen, I have to work on me before I can become a king for you. Exactly. Thank you, Frankie. And here's the masculine, a divine masculine telling you this. Now, these unicorns is who I call divine masculines. The rest of them, those 3D guys, I'm sorry, that term is earned. You earn that term. You don't call, and I see that thrown around in the spiritual community, divine masculine, divine feminine. No, no, you earned that. So until you earn that, which means I'm aware of my bullshit, I'm gonna heal it. You are a broken or wounded masculine, or both. Okay? And once you're open to that, I had a wonderful conversation with a young man who's 35, who's actually a unicorn, and he was asking me all these questions about what is considered normal in the masculine world, and I had to deconstruct it for him. I had to deconstruct it from the point of view of my past life as a masculine warrior, as a good man, as a very horrible man, okay? And I could see him like working it through his brainwashed mind, brainwash of the what I would call very gently the toxic matriarchy and toxic patriarchy. It takes two to tango, my friends. And all of us as women keep complaining about how men suck, but who raised them? Women. Let's get that together. Let's be honest about that. And then, yes, you can't always influence young boys, but if you know how to talk to young boys, there are books I've said on these lives many, many times. And if you're going to learn about how to raise a young boy into manhood, because that's part of your job, as well as a masculine needs to raise a good man. This is the responsibility of the yin and yang, okay? But you as a female have to read these books. And I'm saying you as a female because you need to understand the complexity of the masculine mind dealing with hormones, just like the masculine needs to understand the complexity of the feminine mind and the hormones with it, you know? So for example, I had a client telling me, well, he's not calling me back and he ghosted me and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, hang on. Did he just ghost you out of nowhere or did he tell you what he needed? And she said, well, he told me that, he's going through something really, really hard and he can't give me what I need right now, but he will call me back. And I said, okay, so he literally told you, this is what's happening. I can't be here for you. I have to be here for myself and for other people that really like family, right? And I said to her, when men have heavy shit, you will not hear from them. When men go through massive depressions or they're dealing with massive shit, it's called caveman time, and women have a hard time letting men deal with it. So look it up. I didn't make it up. It's called caveman time. Look it up. Why do men need caveman time? Look it up. Google shit, okay? And caveman time is usually when a man has to work his shit out alone. And it drives the feminine crazy. But when a man says to you, I'm dealing with heavy shit and I need a break and I just can't do this right now. I don't care if you live with that man. Leave him the fuck alone. Just leave him. Bring him tea, bring him coffee, bring whatever you want. Leave him alone so he can work it out. Because the feminine mind wants to talk and talk and talk. That's why most of you have about 3 to 5 girlfriends and you'll go from one call to another call to another call to another call talking shit about why you're angry at your masculine. I mean, so you got to be like honest about it. Okay, you have to be honest about your needs. Now, with the same ferocity that I'm talking to you feminines, I talk to men. You got to tell her where you're at. You got to tell her why you're not going to call her. You got to tell her what she needs and what you need so that you can be better for what she needs. But also, women need, big daddy. She needs to be put on a man's lap. She needs to be treated like a little girl. She needs to feel protected and adored. She needs to know that there's no way in hell she ever has to worry about looking over her shoulder. She needs loyalty to be safe, to give you the kind of mind-blowing sex that will nothing will ever touch it. Women need things, and if you scroll down my videos on my profile, you'll see I did 2 videos. Actually, there's 4. 2 for the masculines and 2 for the feminines, okay? The ones that you want to look at is the ones with these older divine masculine archetypes of she's a woman with white hair, and the masculine is an older man with white hair. Just look for those. He looks like Merlin. Listen to those videos, okay? Because what's happening right now is that of the 3 archetypes of the masculine that's going through either denial, which is very painful. When you deny that you've been SA'd as a child, it eventually haunts you to the point of, you've got to seek help or else you're going to implode. The other thing is when you go through massive depression and self-loathing, and sex in the masculine is actually a little more complex than you would think. Because it's not physical so much, though it is, but it's actually psychological, just as psychological as for the feminine, believe it or not. And what women need to do is to work on, like, send remote healing energy to your twin. You need to work on your chakras every day. Andromeda Flame gets on my lives quite often, and she talks about chakras like up the wazoo. I'm a big believer in chakras, not because it's a cool word and a cool thing to say, but because I know for a fact it does a massive amount of healing, or at least recalibration, so you can deal with your day-to-day mundane shit and deal with your healing journey. Now, we've done the masculine. We're going to go right into the feminine. Are you ready for the feminine? Are you guys ready? Because I'm about to lay it on you. The feminine is going through massive, massive, massive healing, massive ascension, ear ringing, headaches, change of diet. She's actually she's in pain. Don't get me wrong. She's in a lot of pain because there's the little girl in her that feels rejected, not picked. I have not been picked. I have not been, in other words, what is it about me that even though I'm a twin flame, that he doesn't see my value, my loyalty, my love? Why can't he see what I am, who I am? And so there's that aspect of it. And that can be very, very lonely. And I'm talking about the sacred divine feminine that is on the healing journey. And there's more of you. Remember I said there was 80% that were not unicorns, okay, at all. They're like fucking 3D La La Land. And then you got 20% of the badass men who are really doing the work, okay? But on the feminine, I'd say, yeah, I just got the number. 65% of you are actually on the healing journey. The rest of you are not, being straight up. So you know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know the kind of work you're doing for yourself. You know the books you're reading, the meditations. You know the healing journey that you're on. You know that you're shifting in and out of upgrades. You know that certain things are making you feel like weird because you might even be actually getting more psychic than you thought. You know about the telepathy, so does your twin masculine, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you're doing as a collective feminine. And the dark night of the soul that you're going through and that your twin is going through in their own way, right, is you are picking up on their energy. Some of you are actually going through, you're waking up with massive depression going, wait, hang on, that isn't me. What the fuck is this? Like, that's not me. Like, I've been fine this whole week. I've been actually surprised at how good I'm feeling. And the massive energy of that depression is actually not you. You're right. It isn't. You're picking up on your twin flames energy, and I'm going to be straight up with you. You might even be picking up on your high level soulmate where you've got a contract with them. So telepathy isn't just for your twin. Just let's be clear. Telepathy for many of you is the first understanding that you have that ability, and it happens to be with your twin. No kidding. But then it can completely move over. It's like a river that's been undammed, and suddenly, right, you can actually do it with a lot of people, which could scare the shit out of you. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, okay? It's fine. But the divine feminine is the portal, and you've heard this a million times, is the portal of souls coming through her womb. So she has to be doing most of the work. Well, a lot of women get pissed off going, why do I have to do all the work? Well, because you are the portal of souls. I mean, come on. You're like holding a life in your belly, in your womb. And you are the care, and yeah, it's women. I'm not going to be politically correct. It's women, okay? And I'm sorry. I hope I don't get banned because I don't have time for that. So the woman, the feminine, is the high priestess that brings life into the world. Men and women, right? And other, types of, like, I won't go into it, but you know what I mean. And she is the caretaker of the human species. Okay. And so she is more likely to be able to go through the ascension portals faster than the masculine, because the masculine is built. And this is, I talked to Shay, who I know you know her. She's done a couple lives with me on on the fact that the sacred masculine, when he is sacred, when he's divine, is the protector of us. He protects our children, he protects us, he protects the home, and we bring all the spiritual energy in. I hope you know that. That's ancient truth. Okay? Because it was first a matriarchal society before it became a patriarchal. If you look at the oracles of Delphi, if you guys have ever understood the oracles of Delphi, these were oracle high priestesses who would actually squat over this I guess this gases that came up, and apparently it was giving them all kinds of different, supposedly hallucinogenics happening through their bodies, and they were taking on through, would start having downloads. And over the ages, over a few hundred years, it turned from the feminine being completely empowered and deciding what was being said, until the patriarchal came in with their political and warring agendas, and the feminine became a servant to the masculine. But in the ancient days, it wasn't so. So when women tell me, I'm getting so pissed off, you tell me I got to do all this work, it's like, hello, you and I have been men before. You and I, you women, me. I've been a warrior, I've been a farmer, I've been a soldier, a foot soldier. And I've done, I was, like I said before, a good man and a very, very nasty man, okay? And so have you. Okay? None of us are walking on water as of yet. Let me know if you are. I like to shoot it. I'll make you famous. I'll definitely be your agent. But until that happens, none of us are walking on water, because we've had all of these incarnations. Thank you for the heart. And so with that said, that's why the onus is on you to raise the masculine. Because you raised the masculine off his knees, because you raised the masculine when you gave birth to the masculine. You gave birth to the masculine. Do you understand? And so why are we so upset? Many of us, excuse me, that was interesting, chose these feminine incarnations because we were badass men. Or whatever, I can't say that for all of you, to be honest, because then I'd be kissing your butts. Some of you haven't been warriors. Some of you have been poets, philosophers. You never once held a sword in your hand. You don't even know what the hell that feels like, but I do. And many women like me do. That doesn't make me better than you. It makes me having a different consciousness of understanding the frustration of the alpha male that has been... what is the word I want to say? Lobotomized of his innate power. And that happened probably 5,000-6,000 years ago. Probably even beyond that, to be honest. Maybe 12,000 years ago. But I know that when you read the Iliad and you read the Odyssey, if you read those books, men needed a purpose and men needed to protect. Okay, if you read those books. If you read any of the fairy tales that we've been raised on as women, as little girls, we're always being saved by a man, you see? And in a way that was disengaging us from our innate power to connect with source, to create a force shield around us to protect ourselves. The way the masculine protects us is by supporting our ability to safely connect with source, to create in the material world, and to support that. But we never needed to be Cinderellas and Sleeping Beauties. Those are beautiful stories, and I've done a couple. In fact, The Little Mermaid, and if you look at The Little Mermaid, she's out to save the prince. In fact, she does. Okay, she lowers her frequency. Okay, just on a side note. She lowers her frequency to lose her voice, to give her voice to the witch to get a pair of legs. She's lowered her frequency. So many starseeds have done that to help us in this new earth. Okay, many starseeds volunteered, like I said before, in many lives. But going back to the feminine, if you resent doing the massive spiritual work, you've forgotten your high priestess status. Did you hear what I said? If you resent the masculine for doing most of the spiritual work, you've forgotten your status as a high priestess. Because the high priestess in tarot is a feminine that connects to the etheric and to source, directly to source. She's got a line to source, for real. She's going into ninth dimension to co-create from nothing. And the masculine, the magician, comes in to make it so on earth, in the earthly planes. That is the roles we have played in many of our incarnations. We have switched roles. Many of you have had past lives with your twin, and you were the masculine, and he was the feminine, and vice versa. That's not my story, but that's not true for everyone, because I know that some twin flames are same gender, and in this incarnation they're same gender, but they're still the embodiment of the masculine in one, feminine. And the other feminine embodies more of the feminine, more Shakti, more sweet, more, the word sweet was not the right word. More ultra feminine in her demeanor, more ultra soft, more, homebody type of thing. A woman that will create everything else, but the masculine in the same gender body as, will build her a house. Okay. So we have to understand when I say feminine, there are many aspects to this concept. Yes, it's hormonal. Yes, it's all of that, which impacts the brain. But it's also the soul that has decided to come into the feminine and experience the feminine body through the lens of a masculine consciousness, which is completely clashing against the feminine hormones. But once she is able to master that, wow, what an incredible, wise woman she is. Because she's able to see through the lens of a masculine. A woman like me, who's definitely straight, there's no doubt about it, I love my masculine alpha male, will see it also, but it's because I am still connected to my high priestess energy. So I can disassociate for a moment of being a feminine. Do you understand? The hormones, the brain, the this, the that. And I can go right back into my masculine self in my previous incarnation, step immediately into it and look at a situation through lens of a masculine perspective. Does that make sense? No, I'm not saying the dominant. It's not being a dominant. Thank you. I'd like to think we balance our energy as well. So how should we be as divine feminine, the dominant? No, it depends, because some of you have masculines that are actually more feminine. Let's be honest. Not all of you are sitting with an alpha male across the table, okay? So you have to determine what it is that you have with your twin. Number one, are you the masculine and he's the feminine? Because I hear that from a lot of clients. Question, when we are men, are we then the DM in that incarnation? Yes, but sometimes you're the man, to be blunt. Every time I was a man, I was never with my twin. Never. And I can say that without any question. Never. All my incarnations as a masculine, and many of my incarnations as a feminine, my twin was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. And so I had incarnations with different people. What about the Sigma male? What about it, Noah? Let me know. What about that? I'm only talking about alphas, because that is the predominance of our. It goes back to the comment on dit. It goes back all the way to when we were first made from the what you call the Anunnaki, but what they call about Thoth, Enlil, Enki, those guys coming in, that's written about in the Sumerian tablets. If you read their personalities, they're all alpha males. If you read the personalities of those people, those sentient beings, the feminines are also alpha females. So read Zachariah Stitchin's stuff, and you'll see that they're all alphas. When you read Carlos Castaneda's books, they're all alpha. It takes a certain type of personality to be a sorcerer, a magician, a high priestess, an empress, an emperor. It takes a certain types of personality. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, let me know. But when we have other types of personalities, Sigma, Beta, where is it? There's another one. Bloody hell. God, there's so many types, and specifically for the masculine, more so, actually. And I'm not free to really talk in my full power here, only because I'll be banned, because it'll be a little too intimate, if you get what I'm saying, on some things that we need to talk about. But hang on, let me look at it, because there's another one. Bloody hell, it's another one. There's another type. It's not sigma, guy. If you guys know what I'm talking about, write it in if you know. Hang on. Let me see. What is it? But anyway, it's not sigma. It's another one. It starts with an O. Something male. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Omega. Yes, that's it. Omega. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So when you have here, the omega is the polar opposite of an alpha male. While the alpha wants to be a leader and cares a lot about what other people think, the omega wants to do his own thing and other people's opinions don't affect him. I don't know why they're doing that, because to be honest with you, alpha males don't give a fuck what you think. So some of these terms, honestly, I don't think they're completely correct. In terms of being antisocial, that's not something to be proud about. If you look and study wolves, the lone wolf goes out and does his thing. He needs alone time, or she needs alone time. They need to be alone. They need to introspect, these alpha wolves, female and male. And they go out, and then they always come back. Because you can't be such a loner for too long, because we are tribal. See, most people that do this, that decide, oh, I'm just going to do my own, I'm just going to, I don't need anyone. Well, yeah, it's good for a while. But then afterwards, depression sets in, because there's the concept of loneliness, because people are best at some point with a community. And in communities, there's problems. And this is what I love about Ubuntu, the South African concept. Here, I'm going to read to you what Ubuntu really means, okay? In all of its Ubuntu. This is what we're looking to do more. When I look at Starseed Past Lives, do you know what I see? I see community. I don't see this game of, let's just be alone. I'm just all alone here. No, I see alone for a little while, but then in all my hypnotherapy sessions with my clients, there is always tribal community, always. Ubuntu is an ancient African word meaning humanity to others. It's always described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. That's not losing your individuality at all. It's caring about other people, something we've lost touch with because we've been so into the one. I choose me and only me. And there's something not healthy about that. And that's why our children aren't doing as well as they should, because they've gotten, no offense, a lot of children are either incredibly advanced, a lot of starseeds are being born, but why do we still have bullying? Why do we still have bullying? And believe me, there are children who bully other children, and teachers see it, and they're silently allowing the bullying on purpose because they get a kick out of it. There's some sadistic people out there, okay? Let's be honest. But what I'm going to say to you is that in the alpha concept, I'm going to, and this is my concept, okay? This is not how they describe it, okay? I'm going to be blunt. I'm enough unto myself. I am a born leader. I will, but this is what I'm adding. But I am nothing unless I am in service to others. And the alpha man, though he's a dominant, is a leader you can trust. Hannibal, which was a famous general, one of the reasons why he was famous is because he had a tribe of all races, all religions, whatever, following him into battle against Rome. And if they lay down on the ground sleeping in the rain, he did it too. Whatever they needed to do, he did it with them. He always did it with them. So alpha male is dominant, but also is part of the team. Okay? That's what we've forgotten with the concept of alpha. Every great leader cared about his men. Every great warrior cared about his men. Every great high priestess cared about her women, her tribe. If you look at the movie, The Mists of Avalon, look it up. They are a tribal of, you could call them, if you want, Amazons, if you will, Amazons high priestesses. And they care about each other. There's one alpha female who's dominant, who's the leader, of course, but they all care about each other. So this concept of sigma, this and that, and omega, for me, is not something I would like. And the reason is because when you go with your, because look at what it says, just listen to what it says. A sigma male is a man who lives life based on his own rules, thriving for his passions, not distracted by societal norms or standards. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds, no, it sounds toxic as hell. Sounds selfish, not distracted by societal norms. No, we agree, fuck societal norms, but, or standards. What are standards? Integrity, honor, trust, not stealing someone's wives, not stealing money from a poor family. What does that mean, Sigma male? How are we celebrating No, I don't agree with this at all. He doesn't need validation from anyone. Okay, that's good, but that should be with anyone. That should be beta or alpha. If you look at alpha females and males, they don't need validation either. They're like, they don't care. Like I don't want to get too personal, but let me put it this way. I remember my twin, who I love to pieces, said to me, I don't believe you can do X, Y, and Z. And I go, sweetie pie, I love you to pieces, but I don't give a shit what you think. It was like, he was like shocked. I was like, I don't care. I'm not here to prove to you this, that, and the other, but I love you. And I actually told that to one of my clients today, 35-year-old man. I said, oh, my parents, they don't believe. I go, sweetie pie, just tell me you love them and say you don't give one fuck if they believe you or not. You're not here to prove to them that you're psychic. You're not here to prove to them that you are a very special, you've got special skill sets in a spiritual aspect, esoteric aspect. And tell them that. I'm not here to prove to you anything, but I love you. And I'll always be your son. That's alpha. But you're still enough unto yourself, but you still care about other people and you still want to protect and let other people thrive long before you're gone. So what would you call that? Is it sigma? Is it omega? Is it alpha? And so honestly, for me, it's alpha. And some of these other skill sets or whatever, attributes rather, not skill set, attributes seem a little toxic to me. I only care about what I want. Well, that's not cool at all. Thriving for his passions. Well, not to disrespect Andrew Tate, but when you put 10 women on a payroll and you have 10 different women who are the mothers of your children, and they're all there on the payroll for the payroll, right? So he's going after his passions, right? He doesn't care. He does what he wants. He didn't have that alpha female who had his back when he needed it. Okay. So what I'm trying to say to you is that we need to retool these concepts and understand the benefits. Now, the reason why I'm not a big fan, no offense, of beta males is because they have absolutely they don't believe in themselves, a supportive and subordinate male who answers to the alpha male. No, that's not true. You can have a room full of alpha males and they all respect each other, and we're calling it Arthur's Round Table. Those nights were all alpha males. You think there was a beta? No, the way I see beta is they're so passive that they are afraid to make moves. That's not beta. That's a weak man. And that's a weak woman. The beta male assumes a passive role. He is kind, lovable, and sometimes too content in his comfort zone. No, he's not content. He's afraid. He's not content. See, these are all, he is kind and lovable. The most amazing alpha males are the most loving when they are aware of their own need to heal certain shadows. And once they're okay with their process and timeline of healing, these alpha males are incredibly loving. So why would we add a passive role, but he's kind and loving, like only beta males are kind and loving? That's not true. It's not true at all. So we need to, as a collective Starseed group, as a people, as a tribe, to start rejecting some of these psychobabble word salad bullshit and rewrite what is what. And it would be nothing wrong with all of us to be alphas sitting around a table of respecting ourselves and each other and each other's passions and each other's willingness to rewrite and create a new earth. Isn't that the point? And so when we look at these other personalities, so whoever asked me about the Sigma, does that answer your question? I hope it does, because that's what I wanted to bring up. We need to be comfortable in rewriting these very limited boxes they've put in many of us in, and it doesn't benefit us one iota. Look at how confused people are. Men are afraid to be alpha males. That's why they're all running to. Again, I'm not trying to put Andrew Tate down. I really am not. Okay, I think he has some good points. Okay, I really do actually. I think he's got some problems. He's got some serious misogyny, but in a sense. And I don't know how the hell that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let me. Yeah, I do know how it happened. His father was kind of like his father. But he says some pretty deep things. I listen to all kinds of people. I listen to people I really don't like because there are some brilliant people I really do not like. Brilliant, and I listen to them because some of the things they share is brilliant. It's true. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in their lifestyle or their way of life or whatever. They have some brilliant things to say. So you kind of like to open your ears and close your eyes and kind of like, don't look at what you think is right or wrong. Listen to the wisdom impartially. And some of the things he shared, I was like, wow. But when he ended up in, how do you say jail on TikTok? I don't know. I guess I just said it. And I turned to my son and I said, had he had an alpha female, a badass, not 10 chicks on the payroll popping out babies, he wouldn't have gone to jail. It would have never happened. Not with an alpha female on his side. And the sad part is he'll never know what that feels like to have a badass chick by his side. He'll never know what it is to have a high priestess walking beside him. And that's why he's kind of fucked. So I just want you to know, do you have any questions on what I'm saying? I've lost so many people I can't even tell you because they don't like to hear what I'm saying. They don't like to hear a truth. It's my truth. I'm not saying it's the truth, but it's certainly my truth after looking at different, studying people for decades. Listen to this. I want to read to any questions or comments. Let me know. Alpha males are fearless trailblazers who love to be in control, while beta males are kind. Can you imagine this? Look at this bullshit. While beta males are kind, gentle souls who prioritize personal connections. Bullshit. Bullshit. Sigma males are rebellious leaders with lots of life experience, while delta males are responsible companions who want to be by your side. Bullshit. 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 Who comes up with this? Are these people with PhDs that have gone to school to learn nothing? If you look at people, these personalities I just read out to you, right? These concepts, these archetypes, if you will, they have nothing to do with reality. Because I've seen alpha males who are trailblazers, who prioritize personal connections, who are gentle and kind souls, who are rebellious as well, with life experiences, who are responsible companions by your side. I've seen alpha males do all these qualities, all of them. In fact, I happen to be with one. Okay? I've met at least 2 men like that. And my son is working very hard to be this right here, all that in one person. But why? Because because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So that's what we're looking to do as a people. Let's look at alpha females. Okay. What are they saying about that? Would you say, just by listening to me, I'm just asking, I'm curious. Okay. Would you say I'm an alpha female? Just listening to me talk. And why do you think that? And do you think that's all I am? Ask yourself even a better question. Do you think you're an alpha female? So let's look at alpha females. Alpha females are often extroverted and enjoy being the center of attention. Bullshit. I hate being the center of attention. I hate it. But I know, and that's why it's taken me so long to actually go on social media. I hate it, but I'm an alpha female. Sigma females are introverted and prefer being alone or with the people they value most. I'm both these women. And I don't have multiple personalities, okay? So, do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm very alpha presenting. Yeah, well, but what does that mean, presenting? No, you're just alpha. Just get it together. What else are you missing? Are you emotionally available? You're not. Go work on that. If you're not loyal to your woman, let's say, then work on that. But I mean, alpha means that you are confident in some of the gifts that you have, that you are looking to win, that you're looking to originate concepts, that you are happy to lead people, but you're happy to be part of the team. You're happy to be on a round table consciousness with a team of people working on a project. But when somebody's fucking around, you'll put your foot down and go, that's it. I'll take the reins. And there could be a tussle with another alpha personality, but hopefully you'll break away in laughter. You know what I mean? I remember doing a school project in school, in college, and I could see this was going to, and finally I said to the guy, I leaned into him, I go, do you want to win? He goes, what do you mean? I go, do you want to win? Because all your ideas are shit. And he was like, I went, yeah. So I'll tell you what, me and her, we're going to do this. You can put your name on it. I don't care. I want an A. I'm not fucking around. And you're wasting my time. I'm sick of this shit. Do you want to win? Yes or no? You can put your name on it. Let me do it. She and I have discussed it. We're in. And he actually backed away. He was, it was never going to happen. I would have gotten a C if I let him take over some of the pieces of the project. So we did it. We let him put his name on it because it was like better that than, than getting a C minus or God forbid a C plus, either way. And we got an A plus. We fucking kicked ass. So that's an alpha female, perspective. But had he been a team player, I would have ran with it. And I had other projects with other people. I'm thinking of someone right now, Josh, two other guys, and me and another girl. We did a project. We kicked ass. We got an A plus, and we all did our parts. All of us did our parts. There was no question. So it's having the confidence to suddenly like put your foot on someone who's wasting your time. And that is an alpha female energy. And it's no offense, it's fucking arrogant. I still laugh in the memory with a little bit of embarrassment, but I am sharing it with you to share with you when it's appropriate to put your foot down and go, yeah, that's enough. That's a definite alpha female confidence. But being able to sit back and, okay, my project, my module, we're going to split the thing in 5 parts and I'm confident no one's going to screw this up. I relax. I have no problems. I'm like, yeah, and we did. We got an A plus. We kicked ass. It was an amazing project. So my point is, what does that make you? Does that make sense? What does that make you? And so decide what it is you're not in these lists of tags, because they're tags. Are Sigma female rare? Sigma female personality is a rare and fascinating archetype that embodies confidence, independence, and self-reliance. Again, I don't know. You be the judge, my friends. I personally, you can embody all of these qualities under one roof and that will make you a massive powerhouse. But if you are not good being alone, then you better learn how to be alone. I love being alone. I also love to talk to crowds. I also love that. I love my alone time. I am a lone wolf. And so you have to ask yourself, what are you? What are you missing? Sigma females are introverted, independent, and prefer to place themselves outside the hierarchy game, not seeking external validations. If you are an alpha female that wants constantly external validation, heal that. Heal that. That's not a flex. That's not good. Okay? You need to not need external validation. So break down all of these archetypes and see what you're missing, right? And find out what you need to heal in yourself so you can be free to express yourself in all of your power. And that goes with the men too, by the way. Any questions or comments? Does anybody want to add to this discussion? I try to be more alpha sigma because I do need some friends, but not a large pack. Yeah, anybody that needs a large pack, I have males, a lot of beta, and I'm going to call them that, beta males. They need all these friends constantly. They're always moving in a crowd of friends. I'm like, I had one client, I said, have you ever been alone? Well, I'm always alone. I go, yeah, but you enjoy being alone. He went, no. I went, well, that's the problem. That's why it's being forced on you. You need to learn how to really enjoy your company. I don't get on a plane and read a book. Go see a movie alone. Do shit alone. But enjoy it. Go to the museum alone. Go on a walk alone and enjoy that time. If you don't enjoy that time, then it feels like a punishment, and that's a problem. And it means that you have to heal it because you need to be okay, not just okay, savoring. Oh my God, I love being alone. And it's that feeling of, I'm so excited. I'm going to have the whole house to myself. Yay. It should feel that way. When you break up from a relationship, obviously there's the grieving point, which could last 6 months, absolutely. But then afterwards, if you're still alone for another 6 months because you're like, you know what, I'm just going to take my time. I'm kind of like, I've been beat up. I feel like I'm just going to take my time. I'm just going to let the universe show me when it's time for me to go back out and look to meet people, look to meet new potential partners. Or I'm just going to, a lot of you will not go anywhere outside of your connection. You'll wait for your twin to come back, which that's another show. It took me a while to be comfortable with my skin. I have one friend that lasts 20 years. I think what I am seeing is that I need to express even more of the alpha in your life, in order to be able to surrender to my alpha male in my personal life. Outer, yes, exactly. You need to do all of it. That doesn't mean you need to kick doors down and swagger. It's an example. But it means that you need to be enough into yourself and look at all of these archetypal sigma, omega, beta. And I've seen like my dad was an alpha male, okay? And he was very, very, very loving and very affectionate. There's no doubt, okay? That's why my mom married him, because she never met a man so affectionate, okay? But he was definitely an alpha male. So, I mean, I don't understand this beta shit. If a man's a beta and he doesn't want to take leadership, that's kind of scary, okay, for most women. That's why women go for bad boys, because they know, and it's sickening, because you don't have to you do not need to be a bad boy to be an alpha male. Women need to feel safe, and beta males will never make if that's all they are, beta, from what we described here, they will never feel safe. You can't feel safe with a beta, because it just, because if something happened where you needed an alpha, not a beta, you could get hurt, okay? Just saying, okay? You need an alpha who will protect you. You need that. You need all of that, and you need compassion afterwards. You need that. And so we as a people in the human experience are being asked to reject these labels and to understand that all of us and all of our strengths can be so capable to do it as a tribe of powerful lions. Lions. And somebody might say, well, even in the wolf system, there's like betas. The wolf system would never allow an alpha to take over if it was incompetent. They're all alphas when it comes down. They'll all fight to the death for each other when it comes down. They're all alphas. They choose to allow the one to lead because it creates less chaos. I was telling that to Shay a couple of days ago. I go, the problem is, well, we need a leadership. I don't want to be a leader. And I go, dude, we all need one leader, or else we're running around with our heads cut off. We need to trust one person. That doesn't mean none of us are leaders. It means that if if a leader goes down, there's another one right there that's got just as capable as the other. It's just that we prefer, it makes us relax a little more. We're like, okay, well, you got this, so we're good. But we're all capable, right? And that's why it's important for all of us to be powerful, because people pass away, shit happens, people get ill, so leadership is an interesting question. But the wolves, if you look at wolves, once the alpha male passes away for whatever reason, right, a violent, an accident, a disease, old age, whatever, there's another, and this goes with the lions too. Unlike the lions, wolves mate for life. You've got an alpha male that comes and steps in immediately because they're all capable. Does that make sense? They're all capable. They just choose one, maybe bigger, one maybe more powerful. It makes more sense, and it's almost like instinctually they bow their heads to that new one coming in. It's interesting. So I think that we need to like re-look at how we classify ourselves and accept this as normal. Some Sigma females are charismatic, but can also be introverted and keep to themselves. It's ridiculous. When you are in your power, when you work on your chakras, in particular the solar plexus, every single person can be charismatic. I'm not joking. I've actually taught clients. I said, look, you're going to work on all your chakras, but I want you to spend a little more time on your solar and then tell me what happens next week. And th'll go, holy shit, everyone's staring at me. I go, bingo, it's power. Bingo. You're charismatic and magnetic. You got the kids staring at you. You got old men staring at you and smiling. You got all kinds of people staring and turning their heads like you're some kind of movie star. It's not secret. It's called charisma, and it comes from the solar plexus. And the solar plexus becomes powerful if you've worked on your chakras, on your lower chakras first, and then hit your solar plexus, because you've cleaned out all the calcifications of debris, and now you're going right into your solar, boom, right into your heart, high heart, throat chakra. Okay, good. And so on, so, third eye and so forth. And of course you're going to become charismatic. It's an energetic field. It's a frequency. Okay, it's a frequency. Some people have it innately. I'm thinking of James Dean right now as an example. And that was way before my time. He died at 24 or something like that. And James Dean, if you look at him, he was innately charismatic. I don't know why. Some people are just born that way. But all of us can be charismatic. Every single one of us. I'm not joking. You can walk into a room and people turn their heads, or people stop talking, and you're like, okay, wait, hang on. Is my lipstick crooked or something? You'll start being self-conscious because, you're humble. And you're not going to think anything else but that there's something wrong with your face, or your zipper's down or whatever. But eventually you'll realize what it is. You'll realize it's because you've been working on your chakras, you've been working on your power. You're not going to keep putting on the dimmer switch for people to be comfortable around you. You're going to speak your truth in your own way. Some of you are more diplomatic than others. Some of you have it's not what you say. You're not talkers, but when you say something, it's like mic drop. You know what I mean? And that's what you need to understand. So we're not asking you to be a personality and everyone's the same. We're asking, and my guys are saying that, we're asking all of you to be alphas that encompass all the great qualities as best as you can manifest in this incarnation, so that all of us are capable of taking leadership. Does that make sense? All of us. And that's what we need to understand, because as long as we play with these little fucking, like rules, or these little tags, oh, you're a Sigma. Okay, well, shut up and do that. And you're a Beta, and I guess you're very loving, but you don't, you're like, you like bow your head down to all authority. Like, do you want that in society? Do you really want someone like that as a male, female? I sure in the hell don't. I would never go into any situation with a Beta. No way. Hell no. No, that's not happening. And so that's what I'm trying to say, okay? I hope that helped a little. I hope it's giving you diplomacy and delegation. You know what? Some people have a gift. Like, for example, one of my favorite quotes. It's so irreverent. Hang on, let me look it up. I want to make sure I read it exactly. Winston Churchill. Hang on, okay? Because I want to tell you this quote exactly. Hang on, okay? Because it's the funniest quote. Oh my God. I want to say it correctly. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, forget quote. Let me see if I can find it, because I want to read it to you. I know it by heart, but I wanted to say it exactly. No. Okay, I'm going to okay, hang on. Let me see. Okay, the quote is this. Diplomacy is telling people to go to hell and having them look forward to the trip. I mean, I couldn't find the quote, so I did it off the top of my head. Diplomacy, the true act of diplomacy, is telling someone to go to hell and having them look forward to the trip. That is the favorite quote, because that's a gift of gab. That's basically giving someone the bird in words, and they don't even realize it. It's like funny to me. Any questions or comments? Yes, yes, yes. Any questions or comments? Anything at all? Okay, so I have, oh my God, I have a reading. I have to go. All right, sending you much love, all you guys. I hope it helps. I will upload this live on my YouTube channel, okay? It's Sacred Intimacy Tarot. All right, namaste, be well.